हम सब ललित नारायण मिथिला यूनिवर्सिटी के मारवाड़ी कॉलेज के संस्कृत विभाग के तत्वावधान में इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस यूनिवर्सल टीचिंग ऑफ द बुद्धा विषय पर आयोजन किया जा रहा है। इस सेमिनार के आयोजनकर्ता राजस्थान में संक्षिप्त में आयोजन प्रक्रिया के बारे में जो माननीय विकास जी के बारे में संक्षिप्त में थोड़ा सा परिचय दे दूं। आपने राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय, जवाहरलाल नेहरू विश्वविद्यालय, तीनों विश्वविद्यालयों में लगातार अपने अकादमिक रिकॉर्ड में प्रथम स्थान हासिल किया है। आप संस्कृत और बौद्ध दर्शन के प्रकांड विद्वान और पंडित हैं। ऐसे विद्वान आदरणीय श्री विकास जी ने इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का आयोजन किया है। इस सेमिनार के शुरू करने से पहले भगवान बुद्ध को नमन कर देते हैं। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य। इस यूनिवर्सल टीचिंग ऑफ द बुद्धा विषय पर आयोजित इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के आज के टेक्निकल सेशन की अध्यक्षता करेंगी आदरणीय प्रोफेसर रितु वाला मैम। गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर हैं डॉक्टर विष्णु शंकर जी। विशिष्ट अतिथि हैं श्री दुर्गा प्रसाद लामछाने जी। स्वागत भाषण वेलकम स्पीच देंगी मिस नीलिमा सिंह जी। धन्यवाद ज्ञापन के लिए डॉक्टर प्रीति सिंह जी रिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं इस सेशन को डॉक्टर मोना शर्मा जी। अन्य वक्ताओं में वेनरेबल तिस्स महारामायण शासन वंशलंकार थेरो जी, डॉक्टर नील
से हम लाभान्वित हो रहे हैं। लेकिन इसी क्रम में मुझे जो भगवान बुद्ध के संदर्भ में एक बात बहुत ज्यादा प्रिय है, क्योंकि हम लोग भाषा के शोधार्थी रहे हैं, भाषा के अध्यापक रहे हैं, तो हम लोग यही बात करेंगे कि बुद्ध ने अपनी शिक्षाओं का माध्यम हमेशा आम जन की भाषा में मतलब दिया। तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, क्योंकि भाषा के माध्यम से ही हम अपनी बात को आम जन तक पहुंचा सकते हैं, और यही आम जन जो समाज में बदलाव की हम बात करते हैं उसको आगे बढ़ाता है। हमेशा से हमें बुद्ध ने ऐसे ज्ञान से परिचित करवाया जो जीवन के आचरण से संबंधित है। उन्होंने समाज के तमाम पाखंडों और आडंबरों को धता बताकर समाज में समानता पर बल दिया, जो कि अपने समय में एक बहुत बड़ा क्रांतिकारी बदलाव की शुरुआत थी। आगे भी हमें इस संबंध में कई सारी जानकारियां और नवीन ज्ञान प्राप्त होंगे। तो स्वागत की इसी क्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए सर्वप्रथम मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगी हमारे रेस्पेक्टेड चेयरपर्सन प्रोफेसर रितु बाला मैम का। इसी क्रम में आज के गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर हमारे डॉक्टर विष्णु शंकर सर का, आवर डिस्टिंक्शन गेस्ट मिस्टर ध्रुव प्रसाद सर का मैं स्वागत करती हूँ। आज की जो वक्तागण हैं, जिनमें डॉक्टर नीरजा शर्मा जी हैं, श्रीमान सत्यशील गौतम सर हैं, डॉक्टर प्रवीण सर हैं, धीरेन्द्र सर है, विकास सर स्वयं है, जिनका परिचय बहुत ही विस्तार में हो चुका है और समय समय पर हमें मिलता रहता है। इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजित करने में अहम भूमिका के साथ साथ हम देख रहे हैं कि पूरे विश्वविद्यालय स्तर पर काफी सक्रियता के साथ सर कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर रहे हैं, और उसमें सबसे अच्छी बात मुझे ये लग रही है कि काफी लोग उसमें शामिल हो रहे हैं। इस कार्यक्रम को बहुमुखी रूप देने का श्रेय सर को है, और डॉक्टर प्रीति सिंह मैम है, डॉक्टर सुनीता मैम है, जो कि मारवाड़ी महाविद्यालय की ही समाजशास्त्र विभागाध्यक्ष है। मैम बहुत ही अकादमिक गतिविधियों में बहुत सक्रिय रहती है। इसी क्रम में मैं स्वागत करती हूँ रोजा मैम का, और स्वागत करना चाहूंगी श्री बालकृष्ण सिंह सर का, डॉक्टर विपिन कुमार झा सर का, डॉक्टर सीलम श्रीनिवास राव सर का, डॉक्टर उमा आर्या मैम, डॉक्टर मारूफ उर रहमान सर, डॉक्टर सुभाष कुमार सुमन सर, डॉक्टर श्री दीपेंद्र कुमार आर्य सर, श्री मनीष शर्मा सर, डॉक्टर शकील अख्तर सर का, श्री परमाहा निरान सर का, डॉक्टर हुलेश मांझी सर, डॉक्टर कुमुद चंद्र बेहरा सर, और इसी क्रम में जो हमारे आज के सेशन के इस टेक्निकल सेशन के कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं डॉक्टर धीरेन्द्र सिंह सर और डॉक्टर मोना शर्मा मैम। साथ ही मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगी इस कार्यक्रम में अपनी सक्रिय भागीदारी निभाने वाले विश्वविद्यालय महाविद्यालय के समस्त विद्वजन एवं विदुषियों का, यहाँ उपस्थित सभी मीडिया बंधु एवं अन्य सभी श्रोताजन जो कि आज पूरे दिन के इस कार्यक्रम में नए नए ज्ञान से लाभान्वित हो रहे हैं। और इसी स्वागत की एक छोटी सी कड़ी को मैं यही रोकते हुए सर का आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ कि उन्होंने अपनी बात रखने का, इस कार्यक्रम में हमें अपनी उपस्थिति दर्ज करने का मौका दिया, और सर को इस कार्यक्रम के लिए असीम शुभकामनाएं, और सभी के स्वागत के साथ मैं अपनी बात को यहीं विराम देना चाहती हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर।
अब इस कार्यक्रम को गति देते हुए आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा इस सत्र के गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर पीजी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बुद्धिस्ट स्टडीज मगध यूनिवर्सिटी बोध गया बिहार को सुशोभित कर रहे डॉक्टर विष्णु शंकर जी का। हम सबको आप अपने वक्तव्य से लाभान्वित करें। सर, डॉक्टर विष्णु शंकर सर। सर, आपके पास आवाज जा रही है? शायद सर नहीं जुड़ पाए हैं। मैं अब इस कड़ी में अगले वक्ता को मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा। इस सत्र के डिस्टिंग्विश्ड गेस्ट और ग्लोबल पीस फाउंडेशन इंडिया और नेपाल के नेशनल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव आदरणीय श्री ध्रुव प्रसाद लामचाने जी को अपने उद्बोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं। सर, आप हमें अपने वक्तव्य से लाभान्वित करें।
सर, अनम्यूट कर लीजिए अपने आप को।
Sorry. So now am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dhirendra ji, and chair of this session, Ritu ji, and distinguished panelists. Namaskar. As you know, Dhirendra already introduced me, and Vikas ji also told, and am I from Nepal, and मेरा हिंदी उतना अच्छा नहीं है. So would you allow me to speak in the English? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. With the permission of our chair, I'd like to say thank you for this organizing this beautiful webinar in the Marwari College with all the distinguished guests. I'm pleased and honored to be the part of these sessions. And when come to the Buddha, as the feeling of peace coming in ourselves. So myself, I can feel somehow connected with the Buddha and his teaching, how it is important, though it was taught in the 2600 years ago, but it's still very relevant in the current society. So as we know, Buddha is born as a Siddhartha, and then he sacrificed with for the humanity and for the love and sacrifice. He became a Gautama Buddha, and his teaching is still exists every corner of the world and is still very relevant for the current world. We have a very distinguished guest, and then the scholars are here. They will more talk about the Buddha, his teachings. I'm sure I will be enlightened with that teaching and mesmerize my all the previous my learning will be the memorizing, and I will be happy for that. But I am here to tell you, to share you more than what Buddha is teaching Apo Dipa Bhava. I am more talking about as a peace building area, because I represent here Global Peace Foundation, the organization who is mainly working for the peace building. So, I think we need to do Apo Dipa Bhava in the area of peace building, because peace building is everyone's job. Without the peace, we cannot do any activities, anything. That's why it's very important. So in order to be the peace building in globally, we need one vision. The vision, once we have one common vision for the all humanity, regardless of our caste, religion, nationality, whatever identity we carry on by name of colors or geographic location, we need one vision, the global vision, so that all human race can be the one family. That vision is carrying by the Global Peace Foundation, which is mentioned in the long, long ago in our Eastern philosophy as a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Also, the Global Peace Foundation saying it's a one family under God. So why we need this kind of vision to building the peace? Why? This is the big questions. We need to answer. This is a big question. Why we need a vision is because we need such kind of vision where we feel each other as a family, where we can care each other, love each other, share each other, we can nurture each other. That kind of vision we need, that kind of mindset we need in our mind, so that we can love each other. But if we see we are a difference from one another, like if we see he is a different than me, what we try to do, we try to exploit each other. We try to use to benefit of my purpose, fulfilling my personal desire. So this kind of situation we need to eliminate. In order to eliminate this kind of situation, so what Global Peace Foundation carrying on the vision of one family under God. Why we need this kind of things in globally? Because we are not afraid from any other animals. We are not afraid from any aliens invading in the earth. We are afraid from one another human being. We human being is coming from same race from the Africa. We have carrying the same DNA. But why we feel afraid each other's? Why there is so much discrimination on the name of caste, religion, nationality? Why? Why we have so many barriers? Like if you human being have to travel from one place to another place, we have so many obstacles. We need visa, passport, so many things. Look at the bird. They can nicely fly one continent to another continent without visa. Fish, Indian Ocean to Atlantic Ocean to anywhere they can so joyfully swim one place to another place. Every 6 months they are enjoying to this natural gift and the natural scenario. But we have so much discrimination. So how we can, demolish these man-made walls? Is we should have a vision. The vision which can combine, we all are same. If you look the current scenario in the world, the current ongoing conflict in the Ukraine, Vladimir Putin said why he attacked the Ukraine is because he feel insecure from Ukraine. Russia is feel insecure from Ukraine. Mostly, why we feel insecure is because we don't feel we are same. We are different. If you look the situation over here in the Asian, in even the India and Pakistan, there is always tension going on. And then if you look, our military expenses is every year increasing because we feel insecure each other. So this is the time globally, in terms of trade, in terms of market, in terms of technology, we are enjoying globally as whatever is developed in one corner of the world, we enjoy another corner of the world. Whatever developed in the one corner of the cuisine, we are enjoying other corner of the world, that cuisine. But still we feel insecure, and we have the man-made, the barriers of the nationality, culture, so many kind of barrier. So this is the time we need to demolish this man-made barrier, and then we need to make a whole is one family under God. So as a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So this is the I want to share everyone. Let us have a Apo Deepa Bhava of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, so that kind of feeling will bring us the peace and harmony in the world, and the peace and harmony within us. So that we will feel everywhere, wherever we go, we feel as a home. So I have this kind of many experience, feeling as a home when I travel to the abroad. Especially, I like to share one experience with my traveling in Korea. It was long ago, 20 years back, when I was there. We went to the one restaurant. These Korean people are still, they don't know how to speak well English that time, and we want to eat something. We are so hungry, and then we just saw the pricing there. We have that time I was a student, and then our budget was so small. Based on our price, our budget, we saw the menu. The menu come difference with wine and something else, because we don't know the food, and they cannot tell us, and we cannot tell. But what happened is, after they understand we don't like this, we are not going to have this, and we are ordering the real meal. So what they do is, they come at us with a very fresh meal cooked for them. You see, if you have a feeling of oneness, and we have that kind of feeling as a man to man and woman to woman, and humanity have such kind of feeling. So why still there is a discrimination on the name of borders and the name of caste, religion, nationality? We need to demolish this and have to make all is one family. I hope this is what GPF trying to do, and this is my message to all the scholars and the participants and the speakers who are over here. This is what we are carrying and trying to do our reports. So same time, we do have also this kind of many webinar, and many now it's a physical conferences. So I like to invite all of you, if you like to join in futures, this kind of webinar and conference in GPF. We are happy. One of the conferences we designed, 2 conferences we designing in the June is physically also. So it will be my pleasure if you can someone to join over there. And that's all. Thank you very much. Apo Deepa Baba.
विकास जी, प्रोफेसर कन्हैयालाल पराशर जी भी जुड़े हुए हैं।
अच्छा मैम, सर आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद ध्रुवा सर। हम भविष्य में जल्दी ही आपके सहयोग से अच्छे कुछ कार्यक्रम करेंगे, इस दिशा में बढ़ेंगे। हमने एक टॉपिक भी सोचा हुआ है, द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ पीस एंड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट। इस विषय को लेके हम लोग आगे बढ़े हैं।
थैंक यू, वेरी गुड
जी।
बहुत अच्छे जी।
जी जी जी। धीरेन्द्र जी, धीरेन्द्र जी के नेटवर्क में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है शायद। सो आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट द फर्स्ट स्पीकर ऑफ दिस सेशन, Venerable Reverend Tissa Maharamya Sasana Vansalanकार Thero, from University of Rohana, Matara, Sri Lanka. His title will be The Pragmatic Educational System in Buddhism for Path of Purification. Venerable, the dais for you.
Namo Buddhaya. Thank you, Dr. Vikas Singh and others. Let me a few minutes to share my screen. Can you audible me?
Yeah, Venerable, you are audible.
Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yeah, Venerable, of course.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am Reverend Tissamaharame Sasanawan Salankara, an undergraduate student, University of Ruhuna. I would like to start my speech with a statement that Jean Francis mentioned in his work, The Monk and the Philosopher. His first chapter end. Buddhism is included unbelievable beliefs. Buddhist philosophy is not systematic and cannot seem logical wisdom. So, and that's why I decide to do this topic under the speech. Through this presentation or speech and prove the teaching of the Buddha's qualities of universal. So this is my content. I hope give short introduction, educated theories, theory of origin, theory of destroying, and ways of practices, conclusion, and reference. As you know, the Siddhartha Gautama Buddha is the first Arhanta in the world. He is the founder of Arhantaship. We say that's why the master of Buddha. He has introduced the teaching of the destruction of the intoxicants of the mind. That's Asavakkhaya Jnana. It is the best knowledge system in the world for the spiritual science. That we called Dhamma or the popular as philosophy. The Buddha has used 3 ways to communicate that teachings, his pragmatic teachings to the society in simple way. He has educated dividing on philosophy as 3 ways. The theory of origin, theory of destroying, and way of practice. These features can be seen in every main teaching in Buddhism. I focused your view for this slide. There are few of theories educated by the Buddha. I am not going to explain all the theories. I get explain only 2. Chatu Arya Satya. As you know, the Four Noble Truth. In the Four Noble Truth, we can see theory of origin and theory of destroying and way of practice how to overcome suffering. You know, dukkha, dukkha samudaya, dukkha nirodha gamini patipada. Here, dukkha samudaya is theory of origin, how the suffering is origin. And dukkha nirodha is the theory of destroying, how the suffering can be destroyed. And the dukkha nirodha gamini patipada is the way of practice, how should overcome the sufferings. And the second point, the theory of Paticca Samuppada. Inside of the Paticca Samuppada, we can see theory of origin and theory of destroying. Example, I take the part of in the Paticca Samuppada Sutta recorded in Samyutta Nikaya Nidhana Samyutta. I'm not going to read this paragraph, but here I want to show you this avijja pacca sankara, sankara pacca vijnana, etc. This entire mass of suffering originates. This is the theory of origin included in Paticca Samuppada. In this is the another example. This part also I take from the same sutta, Paticca Samuppada Sutta. Here also has introduced how that suffering, this entire mass suffering cesses, the theory of destroying. Okay, this is the ways of practices. Previously, we discussed in shortly what are the theories Buddha has educated. This is the ways of practices. Here are all the ways of practices, and maybe can be seen Buddhism more practices ways. And these practices ways the Buddha has introduced, or the in Buddhism popular as facts for enlightenment. When you for application of mindfulness, as you know, Satipatthana, Kaya-anupassana, Vedana-anupassana, Chitta-anupassana, Dhamma-anupassana. If someone practice this for mindfulness, Buddha has mentioned at least if someone try this hard, they can become enlightenment, they can become peace of mind, they can purify on mind at least 7 days and eightfold path, and these all the ways are practices. The people should not practice this all the ways. They can choose what their choice. And finally, I want to focus your idea. According to the above, we discussed theories and ways of practices emphasized to the us pragmatic educational system in Buddhism for path of purification. And I remind you the first statement I mentioned, the Jean Francis mentioned in his work, the Buddhism, the monk and the philosopher, first chapter end, he mentioned the Buddhism is not systematic, and Buddhism is not logical wisdom, and Buddhism full of unbelievable beliefs. I'm not going to criticize him, but we can say the Buddhism is actually universal teaching of Buddha. And we can understand, you can understand Buddhism is what kind of philosophy and how far it is systematic. And it is a simply can understand, but practice is hard. It is can do. The one sutta Buddha has mentioned, the monks, you can practice these sufferings, you can overcome all the sufferings, you can practice the skillful. If you can't, if you not possible, I don't say to develop skillful and stop unskillful. Same way that systems can be seen used in the modern world only for medical and technical students. In our university students, I remember the medical students and technical students, they learn theories, and another day they are going to practice technical and medical students only. And it is good system to well education. This is what I used references, and thank you for your kindly attention, and especially thanks for Dr. Vikas Singh and Dr. Dhirendra Singh and Dr. Ritu Madam and others, lecturers, professors, and who are participants. Thank you. Namo Buddhaya.
धीरेन्द्र जी, आपके शायद 2 मोबाइल एक साथ चल रहे हैं, एक को बंद कर दीजिए, दूसरे को स्टार्ट रखिए।
जी सॉरी, आप सभी के लिए मैं खेद चाहता हूं कि नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम की वजह से मैं डिस्टर्ब फील कर रहा हूं, आपको भी डिस्टर्ब कर रहा हूं। मैं इस कड़ी में आमंत्रित करना चाहता हूं नीरजा शर्मा जी को, आए और अपना शोध पत्र प्रस्तुत करें।
धन्यवाद सर। आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। सर्वप्रथम मैं मारवाड़ी कॉलेज में संस्कृत डिपार्टमेंट को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी, जिन्होंने मुझे आमंत्रित किया इसको शोध पत्र को पढ़ने के लिए, और स्पेशली डॉक्टर विकास जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी, जिन्होंने मुझसे संपर्क किया और मुझे यहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी दी कि मैं यहाँ पर अपना पत्र पढ़ पाऊँ। मेरा विषय है आज का रेलिवेंस ऑफ बुद्धिस्ट इकोनॉमिक इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड। जैसे कि आपका टॉपिक है यूनिवर्सल टीचिंग ऑफ बुद्धा, in my personal opinion, Buddhist teaching is more relevant in today's world rather than in 6th century BC, because each and every person have lot of pain and lot of, you can say, distraction. So Buddhist teaching in today's scenario is very important, and every person knows and apply the Buddhist teaching. Okay, so first of all, I introduce myself. Dr. Nirja Sharma from Department of Buddhist Studies, University of Delhi. So the relevance of Buddhist economics in today's world, everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to become happy and healthy. But how many can spend their life with happiness, with health? But it all depends on your mind. Can sustain yourself in every situation. It's all up to you. We can define sustainable development as approach to developing or growing by using resource in a way that allows for them to renew or continue to exist for others. Using recycled materials of the renewable resources when building is an example of sustainable development. Sustainable development goals are to the blueprint to achieve the better and more sustainable future for all. They address to global challenge we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environment degradation, peace, and justice. Sustainable development allows, encourages us to conserve and enhance our resource by the gradually changing the manners in which we develop and we technology. All countries should meet their basic need of employment, food, energy, water, and sanitization. According to Buddhism, sustainability doesn't mean sustainable development in modern sense. Rather, it is ensuring of the appropriate material well-being of accomplished or non-harming in the economic activity and its realization of inner freedom and suffering. Buddhist economics constitute two words, Buddhism or economics. Economics is generally defined as a subject explanation, production, distribution, consumption of the commodities, and theory of operational of financial system. One of the first is the integrate the Buddha's teaching with economics. F.F. Schumacher in his book Small is Beautiful. He was an economic consultant as the Prime Minister of Burma, Mr. Yu Nu. Economic value is Buddhism are concerned with the quality of life. We define quality of life not only in terms of material comfort, but also in the term of mental well-being and ultimately liberation of the mind from negative latent tendencies. Buddhism economics follows to the beside principles of maximize suffering. Gautam Buddha was a spiritual teacher and healer of the mental economy of the people. At the same time, he was very practical and was anxiety away the mundane problem of the distress. The Buddha was interested in the happiness of men. His teaching on ethical, spiritual, philosophical problems are fairly well known. At the same time, Buddha's scriptures are in fact rich with the advice from Buddha regarding sound economic values. Although society has changed with the passage of time, the basic need of our daily life remains the same as was mentioned by the Buddha. The four linguistics such as clothing, food, lodging, and medicine are the basic need of human being, which we get from wealth. The Buddha said all beings subsist on food. With poverty, scarcity of these basic needs arise when basic needs are not met. Suffering arises. Buddhist economics regarding poverty as a structural crime. In the Gutta Nikaya, the Buddha says the poverty and debt is the suffering for the household in this world. This poverty leads to borrowing and ever increased suffering and crime, which we see in the present day society. So, if people are deprived on the bare necessities, one cannot think of the normal behavior. The showing of lack of the economic security and money. People commit theft and crime. Also, violence, hatred, and cruelty. In the Chakravartin Sutra of Dirgha Nikaya, the Buddha gave teaching on the role of government in managing economic affairs. In the Kudan Sutra, it is mentioned that it is a duty of a government or the administrator of the country to see to need the those who are want to strive to banish poverty from the land. This type of duty and reform for the welfare of the people can be seen even today where the government works very hard to the upliftment of the society. Honest work should be available to all people so that the people don't indulge in the immortal act possible cause of the economic inequality and discontent are to the removed by the ruler or the government. When the economic condition of the masses is not strong and stable, the individual become miserable and the losses hope. Because of poverty, people may be the preoccupied with the struggle rather than doing anything for their own inner development. In the order to remove poverty, the government may provide land to landless, grain to other facilities to the cultivator and the farmer. Capital scheme may be provided for small traders and those engaged in the small business. Adequate financial aid may be paid to those who are employed. In the present day scenario, we can also see that the when the situation arises, the government or the concerned office or the management does provide the facility for the needy. And when the people are provided with the opportunity to sustain themselves and their immediate families with the income, they will be the content and will have no fear and anxiety. Consequently, the country will be peaceful and free from the crime. The Buddha did not condemn to the acoustics of the possessions of wealth for the ordinary people, but he stressed that all wealth should be acquired and used in the right way. Buddhism doesn't reject wealth is inherently evil, but consider it is useful. Material wealth saves us from poverty, and secondly, it allows us to the practice generosity, which gives us merit. A more happy society also promotes spiritual advancement. This is the proper wise use of wealth according to Buddhist economic point of view. As Buddha says, wealth destroy the foolish, though not those who search for good. Wealth and its consumptions are important. They are not calling the themselves. They are merely the means for human development and enhancement of the quality of life. Buddhist economics ensure that the position of these people to development their potential to do good and live moral life. Here, the question is how to satisfy oneself and one's needs, particularly in the era of the consumerization. Modern social scientists are mostly concerned with the consumptions which yield maximum satisfaction of wants. Human wants are unlimited. People are the persistently looking for the way of satisfy their wants and cravings. When they are way to satisfy their desires, newer wants soon arise and again they have to find way to satisfy their newly arising wants. This goes to the never-ending cycle. Economics leads wants lead to demand and demand leads to supply. With the availability of supply, satisfaction is soon replaced with new wants and cravings since our satisfaction is only temporary. Modern economics and Buddhism both agree that natural resources are limited, but mankind has unlimited wants. The Buddha clearly said that there is no river like craving. Rivers can sometimes fill their banks, but wants of human beings are never fulfilled. In the Dhamma, it mentioned that not by the share of gold coin doesn't contempt arise to the sensual pleasure. The core of Buddhist economics are the mental
Please, ma'am, concisely you present your paper because
yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Okay. So in the Anath Pindak, the four kind of happiness derived from the wealth. The first happiness to enjoy economic security of the sufficient wealth acquired to the just righteous living. The second is spending the wealth, liberation of himself, his family and friends. The third is to be free from the debt, and fourth is lead to faultlessness, happy and pure life without committing evil and thought, word or deed. Buddhist economics ensure that position of wealth leads people to develop their potential to do good and live a moral life. Thank you so much.
thank you, ma'am. Your nice presentation. Now I would invite next presenter, Mr. सत्यशील गौतम जी. आप अपने शोध पत्र को प्रस्तुत करें. आमंत्रित करता हूं. जी.
Okay, now am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Well, the paper was in English, and earlier I thought I should speak in Hindi, but later in the first session I saw many people spoke English, so I think it's better for me to speak English. I hope, and I think most of you understand English, right?
Yes. It's your choice. Present your topic in English as well as Hindi, which you want.
Thank you. There was a problem for me. I mean, I was trying to translate my own paper in Hindi, and it was like, anyway. So yes, let's get. I won't take a long time, 10 to 15 minutes. So I hope there will be less interruption from everyone else. Okay, so let's start. नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्स. नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्स. नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा संबुद्धस्स. Dear friends in Dhamma, thank you very much for providing me with such excellent opportunity to share my knowledge and experience at your international seminar on universal teachings of the Buddha, organized by Department of Sanskrit, Marwari College, Lalit Narayan Mithila University, Darbhanga University, India, on 11th May 2022. I'm glad that the Bihar is coming like in the world stage with the name of Darbhanga. There were some other names which are popular, so it's good to know. This is an excellent time to understand the universal teachings of the Buddha when the world celebrates 2566th birthday, enlightenment, and Mahaparinirvana day of the greatest man who ever lived on this earth. We are very fortunate to be born at the time when Buddha's teachings are in existence. So there are some unfortunate time when people are born and they do not have access to the teachings of the Buddha. I'm here to speak on the topic, universal teachings of the Buddha. Most of the people would say that the 5 precepts, many speakers that have spoken about these principles, represent the most basic teachings of the Buddha. As a follower of the Buddha, I do not have any doubt on these basic universal principles of morality. However, I'm aware that the follower of other religions might interpret some of the precepts differently. Keeping this in my mind, I will try to represent them as well as other teachings of the Buddha as logically as possible so that one can understand the universality of the basic Buddhist principles. Before I get to the point, I would like to draw your attention to one very interesting aspect taught by the Buddha, on which there can be no doubt. If someone asks what is one thing in the world most followers of any religion, any theistic religion, would say it is their God. No doubt for them. I feel some
Please
disturbances.
silent your speakers.
Yeah, okay.
Unmute.
धीरेन्द्र जी, ये दीपेंद्र किशोर है जिसका माइक जो है वो ऑन है.
जी जी, दीपेंद्र जी आप अपना स्पीकर म्यूट कर लें प्लीज.
Okay, so let's go on. So as most of the theistic religion, they would say it is their God. For Hindu, they have own God. Muslims, they have their own Allah. Christian, they have their own God. Now, but all religions have their own God who is different from other religion. And they try to convert each other. Hey, you come to our God. Others say, you come to our God. Consequently, it appears not everybody in the world can agree on one thing. So now you might be wondering why I'm talking about this one thing. Here I must point out that the Buddha is a teacher. Buddha is a teacher. We call him Sasta or Sattha in Pali language. Sattha Deva Manusanam. Buddha has rejected the existence of any creator God. Nature runs its own course, which is called the law of nature. The law of nature in Pali is called Dhammata. This law of nature is discovered by the Buddha. For example, the first two verses in Dhammapada, you might be aware, Manopobangama Dhamma Mano Setha Manovag. So with good intention, with the good mind, someone he does something, so the happiness will follow him as his shadow. And with the evil mind or with the bad mind, if someone does something, some action that is bad action, so his kamma, his vipaka, the result of the kamma would follow him. It's like a yoke behind a bullock cart. So this is the law of nature. Buddha taught this law of nature. This law of nature, no one can interfere with this law. No one, according to Buddhism. Okay. Now, returning to the previous point, what is one thing in Buddhism that can be accepted by the whole world, according to Buddha, and that is universal truth as well? All sentient beings or living beings are depending on nutrient or food. In Pali, it's called Sabbe Satta Ahara Thitika. No matter what is your religion or no religion, some people they do not have any religion. So whether you follower of this religion or that religion or no religion, there can be no disagreement about this fact that all living beings, they need nutrients. So this is taught in Buddhism. However, Buddha taught his followers the concept of right livelihood, Samma Ajiva. That is to say, you have to find your food, you have to earn your livelihood without hurting other people. Now we can move on to the core of Buddha's teaching, which can be summarized in the words Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila is morality, Samadhi is concentration, and wisdom is Panya. In Buddhism, there are 5 basic code of conduct. Abstain from killing. So please notice the wording. In Pali is called Veramani. In English is called abstain. Abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual misconduct, abstain from lying, and abstain from intoxicants. Morality is very important in Buddhism because without morality, one cannot progress on the path of mental purity. Now, we do not know importance of Sila, morality, unless we sit in the meditation. So when someone meditation, all kinds of evil things, evil deeds, they comes up and they disturb our mind. That is next stage in Buddhism. Teachings called concentration, Samadhi. It is a proven fact. When someone breaks any one of the moral precepts, there is a turmoil in the mind, and as a result, one cannot concentrate one's mind. Without concentration, there cannot be any progress in the path of liberation. Now, people may wonder, what is liberation? Liberation, vimutti in Pali, in Buddhism means freedom from hatred, delusion, and greed, hatred, and delusion. In Pali, it's called raga, dosa, and moha. Buddha is called Bhagavan. In Hindi, it's Bhagavan. In Pali, it's called Bhagava. Why we call him Bhagava? Because he's free from greed, hatred, and delusion. Bhaggarago, Bhaggadoso, Bhaggamohoti, Bhagava. When someone is established under morality, he or she can progress in concentration. It's interesting to know that at the time of the Buddha, there were many sages.
Satyasinh ji,
Yes.
please conclude your research paper.
Okay, few minutes.
You have
Yeah, few minutes. Many sages who reach until the 8th stage of meditation. We come across the prominent names such as Alara Kalama and Uddak Ramputta in Buddhist literature. We learn from Pali sources that Bodhisattva Siddhartha Gautama learned 7th stage of meditation from the former and the 8th stage from the later. It's unfortunate in the present day India, so-called Vedic or Hindu saints or rishis have lost the knowledge and practice of meditation. However, to our own great surprise and delight, Buddhist meditation, that is Vipassana, is taught in almost all the major cities in India and also abroad in the tradition of Burmese monk Lady Shadow, as some of you might have practiced Vipassana as taught by Acharya Satyanarayan Goenka. Now, Vipassana is also taught in the jail, in the prisoners. So everybody has chance without any discrimination to follow Sila, Samadhi, and Panya and come out of misery. So when mind is concentrated enough, you can go to the next stage. That's called Panya. That's we talked about Vipassana. And by practicing this Vipassana, we can realize the 3 characteristics that is called Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta. And this practice, well, again, you have to practice. With the reading books, it won't help. Well, it helps, it may motivate. One needs to walk on the Noble Eightfold Path to eradicate suffering. Noble Eightfold Path is right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right awareness, right concentration, and right concentration. So they are come in the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Now, by following the Eightfold Path, one can free oneself from suffering without any discrimination. This is universality of the Buddha. One has to walk on the path by oneself. There is no any divine intervention. Others, such as Buddha and his disciples, who have walked on the path, can guide us only. May the people of the world free themselves from suffering by following the path of taught by the Gautama, the Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you, Satyasinh Gautam ji. Now, अब मैं नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटर डॉक्टर रोजा मेश्राम जी को बुलाना चाहता हूं, वो अपना पेपर प्रस्तुत करें। रोजा मेश्राम जी।
26
आपको वॉइस आ रही है जी?
मैं डॉक्टर रोजा मेश्राम, आज का यह सेमिनार वेबिनार भगवान बुद्ध की बुद्ध पूर्णिमा के अवसर पर आयोजित किया है। सबसे पहले मैं भगवान बुद्ध को नमन करती हूँ। करुणा शीतल हृदयं पय्यापज्योत विहत मोहतमं धनरामर लोक गरुं वंदे सुगतं गति विमुक्तम्। मेरा विषय है पाली मध्यम निकाय के मूल पर्याय वग्ग में वर्णित बुद्ध के उपदेशों का महत्व। भगवान बुद्ध का ऐसा कोई उपदेश नहीं है जो आज के संदर्भ में भी महत्वपूर्ण नहीं है। मैंने मध्यम निकाय को इसलिए लिया है कि पाली त्रिपिटक साहित्य का जो सुत्त पिटक है, पाली त्रिपिटक साहित्य में 3 पिटक है, सुत्त पिटक, विनय पिटक और अभिधम्म पिटक। तो सुत्त पिटक में जो 5 निकाय है, उसमें पहला निकाय है दीर्घ निकाय और दूसरा निकाय है मध्यम निकाय। तो मध्यम निकाय इसलिए लिया गया है कि मध्यम निकाय का महत्व महापंडित राहुल सांकृत्यायन ने भी इसको संदर्भित किया है बुद्ध वचनामृत करके। तो महापंडित राहुल सांकृत्यायन ने इसको महत्वपूर्ण माना है और यह जो मध्यम निकाय है वो बुद्ध के दार्शनिक तत्वों का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण अध्ययन करता है, इसलिए यह मध्यम निकाय बहुत महत्वपूर्ण माना जाता है। मैंने अपने शोध निबंध में मध्यम निकाय का परिचय, मध्यम निकाय का विषय, मूल पर्याय वर्ग और इस मूल पर्याय वर्ग में जो 10 सूत्र दिए हैं उन 10 सूत्रों का सामाजिक दार्शनिक क्या महत्व है यह मैंने इसमें बताया है। मूल पर्याय वर्ग की विषय वस्तु को हम देखें तो मूल पर्याय वर्ग में 10 सूत्र है। इन 10 सूत्रों में पहला सूत्र है मूल पर्याय सूत्र, जो धम्म का मूल तत्व, वास्तविकता को जानना, आश्रवों का आधार और विनाश, इनका उपदेश बुद्ध ने इस सूत्र में दिया है। दूसरा सूत्र है सब्बासव सूत्र, जिसमें आसव का विनाश, असत्य धारणा, चत्तारियर्य सच्चानी, बोधांग्य प्रकार का उपदेश दिया है। तीसरा है धम्मदायाद सूत्र, उसमें बताया गया है कि धम्मदायाद बनो, तो धम्मदायाद बनो, आमिष दायाद नहीं। निंदा के 3 कारण बताए हैं, मध्यम मार्ग का उपदेश दिया है। उसके पश्चात चौथा है भय भैरव सूत्र, जिसमें पब्बज्जा का महत्व, सम्यक संभोति का महत्व, ध्यान के प्रकार और उनका महत्व, अविद्या को दूर करने का मार्ग और चत्तारी आर्य सच्चानी, इनका उपदेश इस सूत्र में दिया है। पांचवा है अनंगण सूत्र, जिसमें चित्त के विकारों का विनाश का मार्ग बताया गया है, पब्बज्जा का उद्देश्य बताया गया है। आकांक्षे ये सूत्र शील का महत्व, बंधनों के विनाश का महत्व, चित्त के प्रकार, मिथ्या धारणाओं के दुष्परिणाम बताए गए हैं। वत्त सूत्र चित्त के उपक्लेश और के प्रकार, भगवान बुद्ध के व्यक्तित्व, बुद्ध का धम्म, संघ, पारमिताओं का महत्व बताया गया है। उसी प्रकार सल्लेख सूत्र में आत्मवाद का खंडन, 4 प्रकार के ध्यान, शांत विहार, सल्लेख का महत्व और उसके प्रकार बताए। सम्मादिट्ठि सूत्र अकुशल, कुशल, मूल और प्रकार, 4 प्रकार के आहार, चत्तारी आर्य सच्चानी, अष्टांगिक मग्ग, आयतन, नाम रूप, अविद्या और आसव, इनका महत्व है। 10वां सूत्र है महासती पठान सूत्र, 4 स्मृति प्रस्थान, उत्पत्ति और विनाश, शरीर का स्वरूप, 4 मूल तत्व, 5 पश्चना, 5 निवारण, 7 बुद्धांग, चत्तारी आर्य सच्चानी। इस तरह यह वर्ग जिसमें भगवान बुद्ध के धम्म से संबंधित, सामाजिक धम्म से संबंधित और दार्शनिक दृष्टि से सूत्र का महत्व बताया गया है। अब इस सूत्र में जो मूल पर्याय सूत्र है वो है अविद्या से संबंधित। तो इसमें अविद्या से संबंधित जो बताया गया है, भगवान बुद्ध कहते हैं सब धम्म मूल पर्याय, मतलब सभी धम्मों का जो मूल है वो है अविद्या है। और इसी अविद्या को ये आज के संदर्भ में किस तरह से प्रासंगिक है, ये हम महात्मा ज्योतिबा फुले के संदर्भ में जानेंगे। महात्मा ज्योतिबा फुले कहते हैं, ये मराठी में है, विद्ये विना मती गेली, मती विना नीती गेली, नीती विना गती गेली, गती विना वित्त गेले, वित्त विना शूद्र खसले, एवढे अनर्थ एका अविद्येने केले। यह महात्मा ज्योतिबा फुले ने अपने ग्रंथ में लिखा है। उस ग्रंथ का नाम है शेतकऱ्यांचा आसूड। इस ग्रंथ में उन्होंने इसी अविद्या के संदर्भ में कहा है। भगवान बुद्ध ने अपने उपदेशों में यही कहा है कि अगर हम किसी भी धम्म को, मतलब किसी भी मूल तत्वों को अच्छे से मूल विद्या के साथ नहीं देखते हैं तो यही अविद्या मानवीय प्राणी का और हमारे विनाश का कारण होता है। तो वो अविद्या का जो महत्व है, ये आज के संदर्भ में जो 1932 के पहले जो इस देश में शूद्र और अतिशूद्रों की जो व्यथा थी, वो भी किस तरह से अविद्या की वजह से ही वो स्थिति समाज में निर्माण हुई थी, इसका एक उदाहरण आज के संदर्भ में भी बताया गया है। तो यह महात्मा फुले जी का है और भगवान बुद्ध ने जो हमें 2,500 से 3 साल पहले जो उन्होंने उपदेश दिया है, वो आज के संदर्भ में भी कितना प्रासंगिक है। तो मैं अपने इस शोध प्रबंध को यही समाप्त करती हूँ और डॉक्टर विकास सिंह जी को मैं बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ कि उन्होंने मुझे अपना यहाँ अवसर संधि दी और मुझे अपना पेपर प्रेजेंट करने के लिए संधि प्राप्त की। इसके लिए मैं उनका धन्यवाद करती हूँ।
थैंक यू मैम। इस सेमिनार के सेशन को आगे बढ़ाते हुए अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहता हूँ विपिन कुमार झा जी को। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि सभी प्रस्तुतकर्ता समय के अनुसार अपना विद इन 5 minutes you should finish your paper, research paper. It's given by this time limits given by the organizer because ये कॉन्फ्रेंस समय के साथ खत्म होती है तो दूसरे जो ऑर्गेनाइजर्स हैं उनको दूसरे प्रोग्राम के लिए व्यवधान उत्पन्न नहीं होता है। तो सभी से अनुरोध है कि 5 मिनट में और उससे पहले संभव हो पाए तो अपना शोध पत्र प्रस्तुत करें। और मैं करता हूँ अगले जी प्रवीण जी।
हाँ मैं बोलूं?
जी जी आप
जी नमो नमः। मैं डॉक्टर प्रवीण कुमार द्विवेदी, सहायक आचार्य प्रोफेसर राजेंद्र सिंह विश्वविद्यालय। मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना?
जी जी
हाँ, तो मेरा विषय है संस्कृत वाङ्मय में बौद्ध दर्शन। सबको मैं प्रणाम करते हुए आदरणीय अध्यक्षा महोदया को और जो हमारे मित्र हैं परास्नातक कक्षा के जो हमारे साथी हैं डॉक्टर विकास सिंह जी और बौद्ध दर्शन और काव्य शास्त्र के बहुत ही मर्मज्ञ विद्वान हैं, सबको मैं धन्यवाद और कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हुए अपना शोध पत्र बहुत ही संक्षिप्त समय में मैं प्रस्तुत करूंगा। संस्कृत वाङ्मय जो है उसमें बौद्ध दर्शन निश्चित रूप से भारतीय दर्शन का एक अभिन्न अंग है और अधिकांश जो भारतीय दार्शनिक परंपरा के ग्रंथ हैं वो संस्कृत में ही रहे। बौद्ध दर्शन के भी जो प्रायः ग्रंथ हैं वो संस्कृत भाषा में ही उपनिबद्ध हैं। भगवान बुद्ध के द्वारा दिए गए जो उपदेश हैं भले ही पाली में है, लेकिन जो बौद्ध काव्य ग्रंथ हैं, बौद्ध कोश ग्रंथ हैं, बौद्ध छंद ग्रंथ हैं, बौद्ध दार्शनिक ग्रंथ हैं या बौद्ध व्याकरण आदि के जो ग्रंथ हैं वह या तो संस्कृत भाषा में उपनिबद्ध हैं अथवा उनका संस्कृत भाषा से उनका संबंध अवश्य रहा है। एक विनय पिटक में चुल्लवग्ग 5:6:1 के अनुसार भगवान बुद्ध के शिष्य 2 थे, उनमें यमेड़ और तेकुल ने कहा था कि भंते बुद्ध वचनम छंदसो आरोप्य माति, अर्थात हे भगवान क्या हम बुद्ध वचनों को छांदस अर्थात संस्कृत में कर दें? तो भगवान ने बुद्ध ने कहा था न भिक्खवे बुद्ध वचनम छंदसो आरोप्य तब्बम यो आरोप्य आपत्ति दुक्कटस्य, अर्थात भिक्षुओं बुद्ध वचन को छांदस अर्थात संस्कृत भाषा में नहीं करना चाहिए, जो करेगा उसे दुष्कृत अर्थात दुक्कट का दोष लगेगा। लेकिन इसके पश्चात भी बौद्ध के जो 4 मत हैं, माध्यमिक, योगाचार, सौत्रांतिक और वैभाषिक, इन मत के अनेक ग्रंथ संस्कृत भाषा में उपनिबद्ध हुए और एक बड़ा ही प्रसिद्ध श्लोक है मुख्यो माध्यमिको विवर्तम अखिलम शून्यस्य मेने जगत योगाचार मते तु संति मते तासाम विवर्तो खिलः अर्थोस्ति क्षणिकस्तु सावनुमितो उद्देत सौत्रांतिका प्रत्यक्षम क्षणभंगुरम च सकलम वैभाषिको भासते। तो इस श्लोक के माध्यम से जो सार है, जो वैश्विकता है और जो बौद्ध का चिंतन है वो आ जाता है। बड़े ही संक्षिप्त रूप में कुछ जो संस्कृत वाङ्मय में बौद्ध दर्शन के लेखक हैं उनके और उनकी रचनाओं का उल्लेख करना चाह रहा हूँ। अश्वघोष ने ज्ञान प्रस्थान टीका लिखी है, सूत्रालंकार, वज्रसूची, महायान, श्रद्धोत्पाद शास्त्र, बुद्ध चरित, असंग ने योगाचार भूमि शास्त्र, महायान सूत्रालंकार, महायान संपरिग्रह शास्त्र, उत्तर तंत्र, असंग भद्र की समय प्रदीप है, न्यायानुसार है, आर्य देव की मूल्य माध्यम का कारिका भाष्य है, बुद्ध सत्व योगाचार है, चतुर्शतक है, स्वादिष्ठान प्रवेद है, चित्त शुद्धिकरण है, हस्तबल है, कल्याण रक्षित की रचनाएं हैं। मैं सबको छोड़ते हुए आगे बढ़ रहा हूँ। कात्यायनी पुत्र की संस्कृत में रचनाएं हैं, कुमार जीव, कृष्णदेव, क्षेमेंद्र, गुणमती, चंद्रकीर्ति, चंद्रगोमी, दिंगनांग ने बहुत अच्छी रचनाएं की हैं संस्कृत में। प्रमाण समुच्चय, आलम्बन परीक्षा, न्याय प्रवेश, प्रमाण शास्त्र प्रवेश, नय उद्धार, नय मुक्त, देवक्षेम, धर्म कीर्ति की प्रमाण समुच्चय की आप टीका देखेंगे प्रमाण वार्तिक पर, और सत्रांतार्तर सिद्धि है, न्याय बिंदु है, प्रमाण विनिश्चय है, धर्मोत्तर है, नागार्जुन जो बहुत ही बड़े दार्शनिक हैं उन्होंने मूल माध्यमिक कारिका लिखी है, सूर्यलेख है, शतशास्त्र है, माध्यमिका अवतार है, धर्म संग्रह है, पूर्ण का, बुद्ध घोष का, बुद्ध पालित का, भदंत ने प्रज्ञा पारमिता सूत्र है, तथागत गृह सूत्र है, महायान सूत्र है, लंकावतार सूत्र है, भाव विवेक का है, मल्ल वाक्याचार का है, मौत गलायन है, यशोमित्र है, वसुबंधु है, वसुमित्र है, विनीत देव है, शाक्य मुनि है, शांत भद्र है, शांत रक्षित, शांति देव, शारिपुत्र, संगभद्र और स्थिरमति। इसके अलावा बहुत ऐसे लेखक हैं जिनकी सैकड़ों क्या कहे हजारों में रचनाएं हैं। इसके अलावा जो दर्शन के ग्रंथ हैं उनमें बौद्ध दर्शन के जो संस्कृत सुक्तियां हैं, जो संस्कृत के जो संग्रह हैं, उन सिद्धांतों का बड़ा ही सुंदर उल्लेख किया गया है। मैं बुरीशा धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा आपकी इस टीम को कि जिस समय रूस और यूक्रेन के मध्य युद्ध चल रहा है, श्रीलंका में गृह युद्ध छिड़ा हुआ है, उस समय आप महात्मा बुद्ध, भगवान बुद्ध की जो शांति और करुणा के विचार को लेकर के आप लोगों ने यहाँ संगोष्ठी आयोजित की है। और निष्कर्ष में अंत में बस यही कहना चाहूंगा कि हमें संस्कृत वाङ्मय में वर्णित बौद्ध दर्शन के जो मनीषी विद्वान हैं, जिन्होंने अपने पक्ष को संस्कृत में शास्त्रार्थ के माध्यम से पूर्व पक्ष खंडन मंडन के पक्ष में एक नई चिंतन धारा को जन्म दिया है, वादे वादे जायते तत्वबोधा, उस विशाल बौद्धात्मक संस्कृत वाङ्मय का आलंबन करना चाहिए। धन्यवाद। पौनः पुण्य न आप सभी को प्रणाम करते हुए, कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हुए मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद प्रवीण जी। अब इस क्रम में अगले वक्ता को मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा। अगले वक्ता हैं विपिन कुमार झा जी। विपिन कुमार झा जी।
Thank you so much. I think I was listening that Praveen Dwivedi was misinterpreted. Just say,
आप अपना शोध पत्र प्रस्तुत करें।
नमस्ते सभाभ्यः है सभापति व्यस्य। I am not taking too much time. I will just please mute your mic.
शुभ लाल कुछ है, ये अपना माइक म्यूट करें। शुभ लाल अपना माइक म्यूट करें। धन्यवाद। प्रवीण जी आप कंटिन्यू करें, आप अपना पेपर प्रस्तुत करना। विपिन जी।
So I have taken 2 to 3 points regarding Sadharam Pundarik Sutra because I have seen that literary dimensions of Sadharam Pundarik Sutra is much more important regarding research as well as who is just taking interest regarding Sanskrit Buddhism. So I have just taken a few points. First of all, I have taken the grammatical aspects and philosophical aspects and at the last figure of speech. Okay, so when we are talking about Sanskrit Buddhism, we find there are so many texts which are written in Sanskrit. Either it is originally written in Sanskrit or it has been translated from other language to Sanskrit. But if I see Sadharam Pundarik Sutra, it is the most important text in Navadharma text or Vaipulya Sutra. In the very beginning of Upaya Kausala Parivarta, as we know, there are 27 Parivarta in the text, and it has been divided in Parivarta. So Upaya Kausala Parivarta we find in the very beginning, Athakhalu Bhagavan Smritiman Prajanans Tatah Samadhir Vitthito Vitthaya Yusmantam Sari Putram Amantrayatesma. So when we see the component regarding grammar, it is not completely in Sanskrit. That's why it is called as hybrid Sanskrit, and in Hindi or Sanskrit we can say Pali Prabhavit Sanskrit. And I have taken different examples from this text regarding hybrid Sanskrit. For example, if you see the 54th verse, Sutrani bhasami tathaiva gatha iti vrittakam jatakam adbhutam cha nidana upamya satam cha chitraid geyan cha bhasami tathopadeshan. Underline bhasami twice. Again in 52nd verse, Srutva cha pritis phuta bhunti sarve buddhaya bhavisyami jagat pradhana punascha ham janiya tesha charya vaipulya sutrani prakasayami. again underline bhunti. Again, if you see another point, specifically philosophical aspect, he is narrating regarding the mysterious points. You can see it, 24th verse. अपृच्छतो व्याहरसि चर्याम वर्णेसि चात्मन ज्ञानाधिगम कीर्तेसि गभीरम च भाषसे. And justifying Kausalya Parivarta Sutra, he is narrating in 22nd verse. Upaya Kausalya mameta tagdam bhasami dharmam bahujena loke arhim lagna pramochayami trinita yanan nipadarsayami. So in nutshell, we can say that Sadharma Pundarika Sutra, because this text is not so easy that we can conclude all these parivarta in 5 to 10 minutes. But in nutshell, we can say that if we are trying to understand Sanskrit Buddhism or hybrid Sanskrit, we need to read such type of text like Sadharma Pundarika Sutra, specifically Upaya Kausalya Parivarta, which is second chapter of that text. I am thankful for the organizer team who has organized such event, specifically because I am belonging from the area where it has been organized, and it is organized in well-managed way, because I am observing since its starting days. So once again, I am thankful for all organizer team, Dr. Vikas and his team. Thank you.
इस क्रम में अगले वक्ता को आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगा। अगले वक्ता हैं डॉक्टर मारूफुर रहमान जी। आए और अपना शोध पत्र प्रस्तुत करें। मैं सबसे पुनः अपील करता हूं कि विद इन